Hi there, it's Chris Marr here, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you through a video and show you how to set up a WordPress website and make it look really professional and make it look as if you've actually had someone professional help you with it. And there's 6 stages I'm going to take you through today. I'm going to keep it simple as I can, and obviously you can watch this video as many times as you like. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to buy a domain name and web hosting. Those are two things that you can't really do without, you need to have them, and typically they aren't free, something that you have to pay for. I've used lcn.com for years and I'm really happy with them. They're really easy to use, and I would recommend that you use them, but a lot of other web hosting services offer the same sort of service, and I'm not affiliated with LCN in any way, shape or form. So it's up to you what you use, but I'm going to show you how to do it using LCN. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to log into our account. So I've already got an account, obviously, so I'm going to log into my account, but if you haven't created an account yet, you can do that just over on the right hand side here. So create your account and then log in. It's really simple to find the domain name. All you would do is type in what you're looking for. So say we were looking for Fife Plumbing Services, for example. We would search for that to see if it's available, and if someone's got it, it will tell us exactly what's going on. And what we'd be looking for there, we've got Fife Plumbing Services, and we want to pick up the .co.uk and the .com just so there's no confusion there, so we can get both of those, and we'd add them to our basket, and we would pay for them, and then we would be the owner for the next year. LCN are really good at reminding you when your renewal's coming up as well, and you can set up automatic renewals as well, so you never lose that domain because you obviously want to keep that for a long time. Recommendation is if you are going to be in for the long game, try and purchase it for a longer period of time as well. So that's your domain names, and once you've purchased them, it'll be inside your LCN account and you can do something with it at that point. The next thing you want to be able to do is obviously you need to go and buy the web hosting, and that's where your domain name, when someone types it into the internet, that will point to the location where your website's actually hosted on a server somewhere. So every time someone types in your domain name, it points to that location. And LCN have got hosting packages that you can purchase, and this one here is £50 for the year, and that's the one I'd recommend that you buy. Again, I'm not affiliated with this company in any way, but this is what you need to set up a WordPress website, okay? And you can add that to your basket and you can purchase that. I've just added the 2 years business hosting plus the .co.uk and the .com to the account, and what's happened is that's added up to £133.20, and that's going to keep me going for 2 years. Obviously you can drastically reduce that cost by getting everything just for a year, and that would actually be half the price of these things here, so you'd end up paying about £13 here and only £50 for that, so it'd end up costing only about 63 or around about anything between 60 and £70 for that, okay? So you could do that as well, but I'd recommend getting it for a couple of years because you're going to need that anyway, I would imagine. So that's what I would do. Okay, and then you'd obviously put in your details and you'd purchase that, okay? So that's you now purchased a domain name and your web hosting as well. So you've got the two main things that you're going to have to pay for at the moment to get a website up and running, a professional small business website. Okay, so now that you've got your domain name and your hosting, what you need to do is you need to tell LCN that you're actually going to use that hosting for that domain name. So exactly what I've done here is I've chosen my hosting through here. I want to add a site to that, and I'm going to choose a domain name from my account, and I'm going to choose fifemarketingservices.co.uk. Okay, I'm going to create that site. And what that's done is just linked them up for me. Okay, and now I want to install an app. Okay, this is the point where we're actually going to tell LCN that we want to host a WordPress website there. And all we're going to do in order to do that is we're going to click in here, we're going to choose an app, and we're going to choose WordPress, okay? I'm going to put it onto the actual website here at the root, okay? And now that's installing for us. So that's your one-click sort of install for WordPress. It's that simple. You don't have to download anything, you don't have to buy anything else, and LCN does all the technical bits and pieces for you. So what happens now is that WordPress has been installed onto that location. It's now hosted as a website. So if I type in fifemarketingservices.co.uk, you're taken to the WordPress website, which is available to us right now. So within a matter of minutes, we've purchased the domain name, the hosting, we've installed WordPress onto the site, and we've actually got a website, the bones of a website, up and running already. So what will happen at this point is you will have been sent an email to the email that you've set up as your default email for your LCN account. There'll be an email there telling you what your username and your password is to log in to WordPress. Okay, and in order to get into the WordPress control panel, all you need to do is click on Control Panel here. It takes you to the website exactly you're supposed to go to, and you type in the password that's been given to you by email. Okay, now this is the back end of WordPress. We're not going to get too technical with WordPress at the moment. All I want to show you is how to start the process of putting together a really professional looking website in a matter of minutes with a very low cost, and something I would really want to get across to you, that you can actually do this yourself without too much technical assistance. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change my password, because the one that they gave me is incredibly difficult to remember. Okay, now that we've bought our hosting, we've got our domain name, we've installed WordPress, and we've got the bones of a website up and running already, we're ready to go. We're going to buy a theme, okay? What I mean by buying a theme is that we're going to go and find something that someone's already designed for us that we can use on our website. So basically someone's already designed a package, a design package for our website. It's a very low cost because they make a lot of sales from this. Okay, so what the business model is they've kind of done a sort of one-to-many model. As opposed to getting a unique website built for you, you can actually buy a really professional, a really well put together design that many other people have purchased too. Now, there's obviously pros and cons of both ways of doing things. I'm not advocating either way, but what I am trying to show you is how simple it is to put together a professional looking website using WordPress, okay? So let's not forget where we are and what we're trying to do here. However, a lot of websites actually do look the same these days anyway. There's only so many things you can do, and if you want to have an amazing looking website, then you're going to have to throw a lot of money at it to get some excellent design work done. And some of these themes, which I'm about to show you, some of these themes are actually excellent, and they give you a lot of flexibility to make a lot of changes and personalize it as well. So all I'm going to do today, and I'm going to keep it dead simple, is I'm going to go to themeforest.net, and in ThemeForest you can go into the WordPress menu here, and you can look at all different types of themes, okay? So it's quite simple really. So what we're going to do, you could look at corporate websites, and what you can do is you can sort these by date, author, category, rating, and sales. So if you want to see the ones that sell the most, you can go in and see these ones. Now, Avada is one of the most popular ones, and it's excellent again, but there's lots of flexibility in there. Sometimes you want to watch the amount of flexibility there is actually within a theme, because you can actually get a little bit entangled in it all, and it can be very complex. So sometimes going for something simple is something you can do as well. If we were in the creative space looking at the themes, just a couple of other tips actually to share with you. You might want to order it by sales, or perhaps by rating, depending on what you're looking for. But this typically something that's sold a lot. It's probably got high ratings as well. You can look in here and you can see the different what's going on in each one of them. So if we click through to this section here of this theme, we can see that there have been nearly 6,000 comments and nearly 16,000 purchases, and it's got 5-star ratings. So far this looks like a pretty solid investment. If you're going to pay the $55, this looks like it's been validated and credible. You can then go through and have a live review, or a live view or demo of the site, and in fact all the themes have this now. Because there's so many good themes as well now, I think it's really hard to get away from, it's really hard to be bad at this now. So you won't find many bad themes, I don't think, just because there's so many good ones. So that's definitely a few tips there. Basically what I'm saying there is, when you are looking at the different types of themes that are there, look at the ratings, look at the comments, make sure that it's a solid deal you're getting, and make sure that the responses are there as well. I mean, if there's 6,000 comments, hopefully you'll see the authors and the people that designed the actual theme. They'll be replying to comments and helping people through issues that they have as well. So make sure the support's there too. So just make a good decision there, and just look around for the right thing. What I'm going to do for today is I'm going to just pick something really simple and show you how to put it together. We've already got it selected here for us. Okay, so all you do is you can set up an account on here, and you can do this all through PayPal. You purchase the theme. It's for one use only, so you'd only use this on one website. You've only got one license for it. You pay for it all through PayPal. It's as simple as that. Okay, so there's a theme there for £25. So far we've spent £150. Okay, now that will be in my account as a download. I can go to the downloads and I can download that deck theme, okay? And that will download all the files and documentation onto my computer. So you might have noticed that WordPress 3.9 is available to upgrade to. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to update the WordPress before I install the theme. I want to get it, make sure it's up to scratch. So we'll just update that now. So that's WordPress 3.9 now, up to date. So every time it comes up and tells you that a WordPress update is being required, the best thing to do is just to update it as soon as you can. Now the theme has now downloaded onto my computer. So now what we're going to do is we're going to upload that new theme onto WordPress. So we're going to Appearance and Themes. We're going to add a new theme. We want to upload a theme. And we want to choose the zip file that was downloaded in the pack. So into here, we're going to find the WordPress file that we're looking for. And it's deck.zip we're looking for there. So choose that. And then we want to install that now. Now it's worth remembering as well that most of the themes files come with all documentation as well. So you can take a bit of time to look through the documentation that it comes with. So if we take an example of the deck theme, there'll be a read first file in this one, and we can open that up, and there'll be some instructions there for us to follow if we're not quite sure exactly what to do. Just before we install the theme, I want to show you what the website looks like right now, with the just sort of like the main sort of initial install from LCN. So this is what it looks like just now. So that was just the sort of the main install. So what we're going to do now is, now that the theme has uploaded onto our website, into our hosting area, we can now install that theme onto fifemarketingservices.co.uk. Okay, so all we do in order to put the theme on is we go into Appearance, Themes, we pick the theme that we're looking for, which is Deck, activate that theme, and that'll just take a couple of minutes just to activate. So now that theme has been activated. So if we go to fifemarketingservices.co.uk now and see what the front end looks like, you'll see that things have changed slightly. Okay, so what we've done here is I've refreshed the page, and we've went from having just a bare bones WordPress website to having our theme installed. So you can see the difference already. That's much better. So I deliberately chose a simple theme so we can actually get something put together really quickly. So what we've done so far is we've managed to buy a domain, buy some hosting, install WordPress, and install a theme without doing any code or anything technical. Pretty straightforward so far, I think you'll agree. So there's things that we need to do now to personalize this, and I want to take you through some bits and pieces that are going to help us to do that, some things that you should really do when you're first starting off with this. Okay, so let's go back into the dashboard for WordPress just by clicking on the button at the top left. And when we get in here, we want to do certain things. We want to go into settings, and we want to go into the general settings and just double check a few things. Make sure you've got www before this. And you will have a tagline here as well. Your tagline might be the best marketing services in Fife. Just as a hypothetical example, Fife marketing services. Let's change that to as well, so it's a little bit more, a bit different there. We'll take that. We're happy with this. I'm happy with all of that just now. So we'll just save the changes on that. So what you see is the changes being made in your new tab. We also want to tell WordPress that we don't want our blog to be on the first page. We want to have a static home page, and we want to have our blog page as a separate page. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go and create some pages, okay? So the first thing we'll do is we'll create a page called Home, and we'll publish that as the home page. And we also want to have a page called Blog, and we'll publish that as the blog. Okay. Now there's another issue as well that we need to do, is we need to go into here and change the permalinks and change that to post name and save the changes there as well. And that'll do that all automatically for us. So we've got something clear. So we'll have like fifemarketingservices.co.uk /blog is what we're looking for. We don't want any sort of, we don't want this here where it's like just a funny sort of bunch of numbers and things. So we want to have something clear and legible. So let's go back into reading now that we've created a home page and a blog page. We want to go and tell WordPress that we want to have a static front page, and it's going to be called home. And our posts page, where our posts are going to be for our blog, will be on blog. We'll save those changes, and we're going to refresh our website, see what we've got. And we can see that our home page is different than our blog page. Blog's where the blog is. WordPress have kindly put in a sort of template here so we can see that in our home page, and we can move this menu around and everything like that. I don't have to worry about that just now. I'll show you how to make that, how to change that menu around so that it makes more sense. I have to do that just now. All you do is go into Appearance, Menus, call that a new menu, just call it Main, Navigation, create that menu, and in that menu we want to have the blog page and the home page. We add them in. And it's a case of dragging and dropping. We just want to have the home page first, then the blog page. We'll save that. We want to manage the locations as well, and we want to tell that the header menu we want main navigation. We also want to have a footer menu as well, so we'll create that. Some of the themes only support one menu, but this one supports two. So what we'll do is we'll create a new menu, and we'll call that footer nav. And we'll put the blog page and the home page onto there too. Okay, just like that. So let's just manage these locations again and tell it we want to have the footer nav as the footer menu, and those will have changed for us. Okay, so that's how you would do it. So say for example you want to have a services page as well and an about us page. Creating pages is really simple in WordPress. You've seen me do it already, but I'll do it again. You would just add a new page, and you would call that about us, and just publish that page. Again, I'm kind of showing you the examples of how simple it is to do that. So again, it's take a little bit more effort than that to put in some content, and then we'll add another new page and we'll call that our services page. We'll just call it marketing services. I'm just going to have one service page for now. I'm going to publish that page too. And if we go back into our menus again, we'll be able to add those to our menu. So we're in the footer navigation bar at the moment. We can add marketing services and the about us page into here. We want to put the blog in there. Let's save that menu, and again go back to the main navigation bar and change that so we've got our about us page and a marketing services page in there as well. Okay, so the other thing you might want to do is you might want to create a contact us page again. So you just go into pages, add a new page, call it contact us. I think there might be a template for that. Yep, there is. We'll call that the contact page. Publish that page too. Again, back into the menus as before, and add that to your main navigation bar, and add that to your footer navigation bar as well. So we'll take the contact us page and move that over there. Okay, so now what we've got is we've got sort of the sort of structure of a kind of a basic business website, and you'll see that now. Okay, now what's happened here is dead simple. This is just a little bit long, and it's kind of moved the menu around a little bit, but that's okay. We'll be able to sort all that kind of stuff out. Maybe adding a logo in here anyway, perhaps. All right, so that's really how you would put pages into a website. So in summary, what I've actually shown you what to do here is really, really simple stuff. You've installed the sort of standard WordPress just by one click through LCN, then we've bought a theme and uploaded that onto WordPress, which has created this new skin on our website which looks far more professional than it did before. We then went into tool section here, the settings section, and we told WordPress that we wanted to have a static home page and a blog page. Okay, and that was simple to do here. And before we did that, we had to create the pages to tell it where to go. So we've managed to create 5 pages now. Okay, we can actually trash the sample page that WordPress provided for us. So now what we've got is a bit of a blank canvas really, and what we want to do is start creating content for our website in each of our pages, and we're going to get into that just now. So what I want to do is get you to the point where you could see how easy it was to actually put something together using the technology that's available to us and the products and services that are available to us to actually get a website up and running that's professional looking and doesn't look like a child threw it together, and it also doesn't look like it came out of the 1990s either. So I think that these are the important aspects of a website. It needs to look professional and trustworthy. So what you can do now, depending, I don't want to get too technical here because all themes are slightly different, but there will be theme options, and inside those theme options you'll be able to customize a lot of things, like put a logo and put an image on the front as a banner. You'll be able to add some text in here as text as the main heading. Okay, and you'll be able to add in subheadings. Okay, and you'll be able to add in button text and lots of different things. Okay, like I said, I don't want to get too technical here. I just want to show you that these, I don't want to get too technical here. I just want to show you how simple the themes can make it for you to actually style your homepage and your blog page, and you can get a website together really quickly. One of the great things about the themes is that you can get a lot of support online. Okay, now I've just created this here, and you can make this button go anywhere really. So there's lots of things you could be doing here. You can personalize it by using your own images and your own text, and obviously everyone has got a different color scheme and things like that as well, so you can change all of those elements, and normally within those themes you've got the flexibility to do that. Now the next thing I want to show you is plugins. Now you'll no doubt be aware that WordPress allows users to install what's called plugins. So I'm going to take you to 2 or 3 of the main plugins that I would use and show you how simple it is to install these plugins and actually set them up. So the first thing I'm going to show you to do is how to install something called Shareaholic, which allows you to put share buttons on the bottom of all your pages and your blog posts. So the first thing we do is we'll just search for it. This is it at the top here. Click install now. Click OK. So this is you back in your plugins, and it tells you here that Shareaholic has been installed now, and we want to set it up. It's come up as an option on the left hand side here. Some of your plugins will go into the settings menu here, and some of them will pop out on the side as well. So now that the plugin's been installed and I've went into the settings here on the left hand side, we can see that there's share buttons for our posts, our page, our index, and our categories as well, and we've got this related content as well. So just to show you what that does as sort of like out of the box, I'll just go over to the home page or the blog page, and I'll just click to refresh that and go into a blog, and you'll see these share buttons that come up now at the bottom, which allows us to share our thoughts, share the blog articles, allows people to do that to their own social platforms. Now what I'll do is I'll set it up just quickly the way that I would do it, just so you can see exactly how it can look. So I would take off related content and index and categories and keep the page and the posts. So I'll just save the changes on that just now, and then customize this so that it looks a little bit slicker. And I always go for the flat square because it looks a bit sort of like, you know, that kind of like what Apple have done with their stuff. Flat square, and share that to share the knowledge or something like that. So there's a little call to action on that. And you can also add in, like for example, you can add in other social media platforms like LinkedIn, for example, or if you know people that are a certain fan of a certain platform that are readers of your articles, then you would add that in too. But there's lots of options there. Okay, but let's just keep it simple just now. So save those settings, and that was for the post settings. And we'll do the same for the page settings. Flat square, share the knowledge, put it into the middle, and add in LinkedIn. Okay, and we'll save that. And if we go back to our website now, we will see, I'll just click save here again just in case. Go back to our website now, we'll see there's been a few changes there for us, and everything just looks a little bit sharper, right? So that's one plugin. That's how simple it is to install a plugin and set it up as well. So you would just go to plugins, search for the plugin that you're looking for, install it, play around with the settings, and to be honest with you, if you make any big mistakes, the best thing you can do is reset it, either deactivate it and then install it and reinstall it again, or get some help from someone. So that's Shareaholic. The other there's a couple other plugins as well that are good to install, and I'll point you to my blog article on that. There's about 10 WordPress plugins that are really, really great to use. So that's how simple it is to install a plugin. Now I mentioned sidebars earlier as well, and you're probably thinking to yourself, what's a sidebar? Well, a sidebar is something that comes up on a page on the right hand side, so you might have your main content in the middle here, and then on the side you'll have a sidebar. And a sidebar is really a place for you to put some really important content. So if we go into appearance, and into widgets, you'll see that there's a sidebar for the blog, there's a sidebar for the pages, and we've got the footer sidebar and the contact page sidebar as well. So the contact page, remember, is something that we set up, and this theme comes with already installed a form. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into that page actually and edit that page directly, and we're going to turn off the share buttons because they're coming up above the form and I don't quite like that, so we're going to hide them. So that's another thing that Shareaholic allows you to do, is personalize each page. Okay, so we can go back to that page now and those buttons will have gone. But there's a sidebar on this page as well. We can't see it right now, but we can go in and, for example, in the contact sidebar here, we could add some text. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to call that our contact details. And we're going to just say Chris Marr, and we're going to put in our business address. Okay, and we'll save that. And what that does is it just adds a little sidebar on the right hand side for us, and we can see that here. Okay, so that's exactly what's happened there. I've just told it to say on the contact page sidebar I want to have this text. Alright, and I can actually go ahead and put that onto my pages sidebar if I want to as well. So I grab the text widget, drop it in. I'm just going to copy and paste that information out of there and put it into here. All our contact details, automatically add paragraphs. Go to the marketing services page and we'll see that that's on the right hand side now as well. Okay, so that's how simple it is to add in what's called a widget. Now you can get other apps and plugins that give you much more different things to do there as well. Much more things you can actually plonk into all of these sidebars. Okay, there's lots of fancy stuff you can do as well if you want, but really what you want to do is you want to try and keep it simple anyway, especially in the start. And if you're a small business and you're getting started for the first time, the best thing you can do, I think, is to get up a home page, a services page, a blog page, and About Us, and a Contact Us page. And then from there you can add in services pages, and it also allows you to write your first blog as well, which I'm just going to show you right now how to write a blog article. So if you want to post a brand new blog article, the first thing we're going to do though is we're actually going to go into posts. So pages and posts are different things. We'll go into posts, which is for your blog articles, and WordPress knows exactly where to put that. We're going to trash this one here because it's the standard one that WordPress installs for you, so you can see where it goes. We're going to add a new article in here, okay? We're going to take something that I've written previously just to make it nice and easy, okay? So I'm going to just copy and paste in it as just plain text, okay? All we're going to do now is add a title in. And we're going to save that as a draft, so I've got it and it's not going to go anywhere. And what that does is it actually creates that URL for us here. And all I'm just going to do is just shorten that down a little bit and call it Facilitating Workshops. Okay, click OK on that. So you can change that URL before you publish it, and you can call it whatever you want, something relevant. So what I've got is this whole bunch of text in here now, and I just want to do some formatting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how simple it is to format a blog article. And to kind of get the comparison, I think what we'll do is I'll show you what it looks like just now. So what I'll do is save the draft. It's not published now, no one can see this, and I'm going to preview it. Okay, it's going to open up a new tab and show me what it looks like, so I can see what it looks like before I publish it. Okay, you can just see that it's just a bunch of plain text. Okay, so just like in a Word document, we want to change some of the text. Okay, we want to kind of make it look a little bit more readable. So I want to have this as a headline here, for example. So what I do is I click on this button here, and I want to do that as a heading 2. Okay, I want it to be bigger text. Okay, so what we've got here now is we've been put in some, almost like some headlines or subheadlines, and if I refresh that page now, the preview, you'll see that it's actually added in some styling text for us. Okay, Now we've got, this is supposed to be a bullet list here, so we can look at doing that as well. So if we go into here, we can actually create this as a little bullet list and save that. Just like in Word, it's the same as in Word, so if you're used to kind of using Word, you should be fine. And we can see that that's created a bullet list for us there. Okay, so that's as simple as it goes. And now I think you'll agree with me that this looks quite professional. The text is nice and clean. There's no real issues there at all. And before we publish, we just want to make sure that we've got the right category here as well. What we'll do is we'll call this Marketing Workshops, which adds a new category, and it's an important part of a WordPress blog, is you want to categorize everything that you do so that when people are looking through all your older blog articles, your archives and things, they can kind of filter it out with the relevant content that they're looking for. And you might want to set a featured image as well, which is always a good idea. So we'll just go ahead and do that just now. So now you've got a picture uploaded, you can then call it something relevant, and we'll add in a featured image into our blog. Okay, not most blogs allow you to have an image, it's just one of those things that's pretty standard. And then what we'll do is we'll refresh that preview, and we've got this big image at the top, and then we've got the content here. Okay, so what you can see, all I want to really show you there is how simple it is to put a blog together and get some articles out there. Okay, you don't have, I mean, this is the sidebar here. You might think it's been looking a bit daft. You put some stuff in your sidebar here as well, like some social icons and things like that. And again, it's dead simple to do. It's not difficult at all. You just really need to kind of look through and see what the options are. If we go into, for example, if we go into the widgets, we can go into the blog sidebar here, and we'll be able to see that we could have our social links in here, and we can just add, I'm just going to add in these quickly so you can just see the links in place. Let's have a LinkedIn one as well, and an RSS and an email. If we save that there, what you'll see will happen is that the links will come up, right? So that's pretty good for us. So if we click on them, we'll get taken through. If we put the proper links in there, you'd actually want to put the URL of your pages in there. Okay, and you may want to call that Connect with Us Socially. Something like that. And that will change the little title on the sidebar there. Okay, and you can add in other content underneath that as well. For example, you might want to add in the categories, like we're talking about the categories of your blog. If someone wants to search through there and make them stick around a little bit longer, or you might want to add in some recent posts perhaps as well. We haven't got any, but we could just recent articles. I might want to do blog categories. Okay, and save that as well. And what you'll see is, as you generate more content, there'll be content here. And then obviously if we publish this post, for example, which I'll do just now, go into posts, and now that we're happy with it, we can quick edit there, and we can actually go ahead and publish that and update. Okay, and what will happen is that will now be a blog article. So if we're on our home page, we'll be able to see a summary of that blog article here, what you need to be facilitating, why you need to be facilitating workshops in your business. We'll click on there, and we get taken to a blog, and we can see that in the blog category, there's the Marketing Workshops category that I had highlighted, and then we've also got the recent articles as well, which holds people on the website just for a little bit longer sometimes if they're clicking through. Alright, so there's lots you can do, especially with this theme. It is simple, but simple's good. I think if you're just starting out as well, you don't want too many options really, to be honest. And you can add in these widgets into your sidebar, into your pages sidebar, for example, as well. So you could take your social links and you could put them in here too. What I really wanted to do, as I said, with this is really show you how to buy hosting and a domain name, show you how to install WordPress, and really those three things, how simple they actually are. I wanted to show you how to buy a theme and install it, what theme to buy, kind of like what to look for, what kind of things to look for, you know, looking for the ratings, the comments, the support, and how many purchases it's had, how to download and install plugins, which I've showed you how to do as well, and again it's simple, and how to post your first blog as well and publish that. So I'm going to obviously point you towards some other content that you can read that will help you to build your WordPress website, but I hope that's kind of answered some of the big questions that you've had about producing a website from home. And I think there's a time and a place for doing something like this, and I think there's also a time and a place for hiring a professional as well. So just to make it clear that this is something that you can do on your own if you want to, if you're willing to learn and put your mind to it. It's not difficult, as you've just seen and been able to click around there. Now you can obviously watch this video multiple times if you want to, and if you've got any major questions, any thoughts, concerns, or if you need any help with anything, then please don't hesitate to ask me. I've been using WordPress for 4 or 5 years now, and I've become pretty proficient at it. So if you need any help, just give me a shout.